Today, I'm drawing a line in the sand. I've got a word that I think we need to get down into our DNA and stick with me. I have a recommendation for each of you all for this week. We're going to hold the line.
Was it freedom from Johnson City?
Well, a big Shazam and a Kujoot Duke boys to each of y'all. It is Sunday afternoon. It's like right afternoon for me, and y'all are seeing this on Monday and some of y'all Tuesday. I want to talk to y'all. No notes, no preparation. I moved everything that I was going to do for today aside. I think a lot of us, like I said on Friday, have been in an odd place over the last several days since the passing of Charlie Kirk. And I don't even want to use that word passing, the murder or the political assassination of one of the largest voices in America. I think we've all been in a wild place, and we're all reflecting, my opinion. We are all working through emotions and working through, I think one of the emotions is anger and concern about where our country is. I want to tell you about my weekend, what I've been doing, a recommendation for y'all, and a word that I think that divides us from the crazies and those that hate America. And this is, I guess, a Hard Truth Monday. Again, no preparation. I want to talk to you. Stay with me. I think some of the things we're going to work through and maybe some of the conversations we're going to have down in the comments section are going to be significant. Fittingly, today's episode is brought to you by We the People Have Had Enough. Yes, TriStar is in the business of selling t-shirts, but we are also very serious about putting a message on your back or on your chest that can start a conversation and let people know where you stand. And I think this one sends a message that we've had enough because we have had enough. It's TriStarTrading.com. There's a link down below or just type it out. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the support, and wear these things proudly. Start conversations. You people, thanks for every thumbs up. Appreciate y'all. I'd forgotten I needed to do the thumbs up, and it kind of comes up out of muscle memory. Now, let me tell you about my weekend, and then I want to tell you about that dividing line. I think when I left the studio on Friday, and I read every comment. If I'm on laptop, I don't heart every comment. If I'm on mobile, I do heart every comment to let you know that I've read it. And I got a good sense of where this audience is, the You People Army. And I think it's very similar to where my friends are. Y'all know I have a large friend group. Somebody told me the other day that they estimate I spend about 30 hours a week with the guys. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. And then I started thinking about Saturday afternoons and my Tuesday night smoke and my cigar smoke and my Bible study tonight. Yeah, about 30 hours a week with these guys. We do a lot of road trips. I walked out of the studio feeling a little disconnected, feeling a little concerned. And so I had a little bit of a different weekend. Friday evening, y'all remember Chainsaw Logan. I'm going to tell you why I did all this. Friday evening with Chainsaw Logan, he and I got together and we spent 6 hours. We smoked some cigars. We listened to country music. We talked about ancient Egypt. We talked about the Bible. We ended up on my back porch having a good discourse on life and women and Genesis and some wild grounding stuff. There's a word. Saturday, I got up and I drove up into the mountains of North Carolina. Y'all know Jason Knight, the blacksmith that was on here playing with this car the other day that made the Tennessee toothpicks. I went up to a blade show. I've never been to a knife show. Went to a knife show up in the mountains of North Carolina and hung out with a lot of dudes that were salt of the earth, men that work with their hands, and had a phenomenal time. Last night, I took a pretty girl out for dinner, had a great time, sat on the tailgate of my truck, listened to some music, and had a nice dinner. And then we went and listened to a bluegrass concert that was phenomenal. Had a really, really good time. And that music, I just waves of twang going over me, which may sound a little hokey to y'all, but for me, it was like plugging into a wall and getting recharged. This morning, I got up and I drove. I don't know, it was kind of interesting. I drove to a church I've never gone to, and I walked into the doors. I drove across my county into another county, and I drove a half an hour and walked in and heard a message of solidarity and a message of holding the line and a message of that was just very, very powerful. That's for me. I'm not putting that onto y'all. And then today I'm going to go hang out with my dad for lunch. He's almost 80, and my nephew. And then tonight I have my Cigars with Jesus Bible study. And I've gotten so much flack over that. Every now and then I'll post a picture of a cigar in my Bible, and I'll get banged away in the comments, not by the world, but by other Christians or other believers telling me why I'm wrong. I also think, side note, that it's the worst named group ever. Cigars and Jesus, or Cigars with Jesus, whatever they call themselves. It should be called Holy Smokes. It should be called Holy Smokes. Now, I did all of that this weekend to get regrounded. There is that whole thing, and I don't know, I've never done it. Have y'all seen where the hippies these days, they talk about the earth and stuff, and then we're supposed to go outside and put our bare feet onto dirt or onto grass and get our bodies, as soon as we get connected to the earth. I don't know, sort of hippie-ish to me. It makes me want to go over to Asheville and bang a drum and hold hands with a guy named Steve. It sounds kind of gay to me. However, I want to talk about my life and your life. We need to get back to the things that make us Americans, our language, our culture, our music, whatever you like. Get back to those things. This weekend, I hung out with grown men with rough hands. I hung out with a pretty girl. I listened to country music. I listened to bluegrass music. I'm going to eat some fried chicken and smoke some cigars and hang out with the guys and talk about this country. I believe we have a fight coming. I'm not being dramatic and talking about red stuff in the streets, but it might be a fight of the pen. It might be a fight of the keyboard. It might be a fight of our words, and it might, heaven forbid, be a fight in the street. Regardless, we have to fight back against the powers of this world, the spirits over our town and over our country, over our cities, our municipalities, or over our families. Whatever it is, whether you want to call it ideological or call it spiritual, we have a battle to fight wherever your puzzle piece to plug into is. Get to the fight. But first, I want to remind you, ask you, suggest to you, and nudge you to ground yourself. Plug into the wall. This week, be an American. Ladies and some dudes, cook. Guys, get out on the grill and cook some meat for your next door neighbor. Holler at your friends that you hadn't talked to in a while. Get the boys together. Get the girls together. There's a lot of old people, cranky old people that watch this channel. Call the grandkids. Get them over. Be an American. Turn on some music. Turn on whatever it is that puts life into your soul and raises the level of your American batteries, and get plugged in and do the things that we do as an American. It will help you in the coming days. There's a word that I believe that separates us from the ideological left, the communists, the socialists, the demonic that are against us, and the word is no. You walk into a university and say, I'm confused, I want to cut my wiener off, and they'll say yes. You walk into a high school and say, I'm confused, I want to wear a tail and call myself a furry, they will say yes. Y'all can already tell where this is going. Everything they do, they say yes to. I want to elevate people based on the color of their skin. Yes. I want to burn towns down in the name of George Floyd. Yes. We hold the line with the word no. And I believe, this is me talking, that is the word that separates us. I want to challenge you today to get the word no into your life more. Don't put up with that crap anymore. We have been too soft-spoken, too mamby-pamby, too limp-wristed, and too pink to say things when they need to be said. I'm drawing yet another line in the sand and saying, I am fed up and done with where we are as a society today. We have slippery slope to the point from, just bake us a cake for our mamby-pamby little wedding, all the way to the point where if you disagree with me ideologically, we're going to shoot you through the neck. It looks like that it was a transgender cell that did it, and not just an individual, but a collective and a group cheering it on that all had pre-knowledge. I don't want to get lost in the details of what happened. I think a lot of us have been on the screens too much and on social media too much, and we need to get whatever your version is of out to the campfire and drinking a beer or hanging out with friends with a cup of coffee, whatever. Be an American. I don't talk about my personal life on here very much. A lot of y'all have no idea what I do in my life, where I go, and we're going to keep it that way. I have paid a price for this channel. Over the last few months, if you've noticed, the memes have gotten harder and gotten stronger and gotten fiercer and gotten spicier, but you've seen a lot of the word no peppered throughout it. I am pushing back. There's a lot of different examples, but you can take any different areas of the cultural war where I have fought, or at least done my part, or y'all send stuff in and I regurgitate it, but it is peppered with the word no. We don't agree with your nonsense, your garbage, or the ideologies that are eroding what we are as an Americans, that will leave a world for our children and our children's children that is worse, far removed from the country that we grew up in. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I'm saying the word no. I'm going to purposefully stay grounded. I have paid a price for this channel. I have haters that'll say, well, Johnny, you got, some free guns and you got free this and free. Yeah, I did. And the price I paid, you'll never know. I have had to have meetings and phone calls and emails and a whole lot of things that have cost me. And I'm not going to stop. With your help, and hopefully I'm going to help you as well, we are all going to continue this fight and prepare for the fight that is to come. The hard truth of Hard Truth Monday is we'll never know about this. We'll never have the truth. We'll have a shadow of the truth, but we'll never know. And the news cycle will change and folks will stop talking about it. The other hard truth is we all need to man up. Ladies, you need to man up a little bit too. Put on your big girl britches. Fellas, put on your big boy britches. We have a discourse to have. We have a discourse to prepare for. We have a fight to get ready for. And again, whether it's a fight of the pen, of the keyboard, of the mouth, of the TV screen, or your screen on your phone, whatever it is, however you fit into this battle, fight. We the people have had enough. And that's not me trying to sell a shirt, although they are in the description. It is me recognizing the dire situation we have found ourselves in. The left wants you dead. Prepare and train like it. We the people have had enough. I'm saying the word no, and I'm challenging all of y'all today to be an American.
Spicy freedom from Johnson City. Spicy freedom from Johnson City. Spicy freedom from Johnson.
This gun fits my hand better than this one does.
Diabetes.